Hello, everybody. This is Danielle from Woosah Holistic Health Coaching. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to all of you who've been hanging in here with me. And we're back today to just cover another topic that I hope that you really enjoy this information because it's important. We're going to talk about a disease that so many of us are suffering from. I am a recovering person from this disease. I am doing much better with it. And so often, if people go to the doctor for stress, anxiety, or depression, they have no idea that the reason that they have this issue is because of this disease. And it isn't what you're thinking. But I think as soon as I say it, you will understand that it can happen. This disease is known as the disease to please. How and what does that have to do with anything regarding our health, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually? Well, if you think about it, when we are doing things, moving through life, moving through our day, and we don't even know why we're doing any of it, we don't even know if we want to be doing it, we don't even know if we like what we're doing, we could be putting so much stress on ourselves and dumping that stress hormone cortisol, which is not good for us at all, not just because of the cosmetic look of the belly fat that accumulates, but so many other reasons when it comes to our nervous system. When we're doing things that we don't even want to be doing, that is a lot of the time because of the disease to please. So let's talk about what does it look like and what can we do to recover from it. There's another principle or theory that is very much trending right now, and I wish I had known about it so many years ago. Mel Robbins actually just released a book about this topic, but she wasn't the one who originally came up with this theory, but she definitely is promoting it and pushing it these days, and she even wrote about it. It is the let them theory. So let's talk about what does that look like and how it relates to the topic of disease to please. So let them has to do with how we make decisions and not connecting our emotional state to the outcome of a decision. So let's give an example. So-and-so just texted you and they want to go to Starbucks. Let's just say that. But you don't really think about if you want to go to Starbucks. You may not even like Starbucks. You may think their coffee is bitter. You may think their coffee is overpriced. You may think it's crowded, whatever. But you go every single time. Why? The disease to please and not understanding the let them theory. You are so concerned about whoever texted you and said that they want to go to Starbucks, how they're going to respond if you said no. What if you said no? Oh, my word, they might be upset. They might be mad at you, but they may not want to speak to you. They may freak out on you. They may yell at you. They may talk about you to other people. Well, when you put the principle or the theory of let them in the mix, now you aren't associating your stress, your anxiety, your whatever reactions. It has nothing to do with how they feel. You're going to let them feel however they feel because it's theirs, it's not yours. So if they're mad, they're mad. They're sad, they're sad. You're not going to just be so obsessed with what other people are thinking that you can't let them emote however they're going to emote, react however they're going to react. It's theirs, it's not yours. But when you attach so much of your own emotions to the outcome of how other people feel or react, you are definitely suffering from the disease to please. That disease is crippling. Your nerves are going to be shot. Your stress level is going to be high. You are going to have the worst anxiety. And you're not even being true to yourself. So here's a tip that I share with my client. The next time you get a text message or a phone call, first of all, why are we in such a hurry to react or to answer or to respond to anything? When we hurry up and text real fast or we hurry up and answer the phone, and we don't give ourselves any time at all to tap into ourself, our own state. Ask ourselves really important questions like, do I want to? Do I like that? How will it make me feel to be in that interaction environment, whatever? So it's so important that we take the time to ask those questions because it's an act of self-love and it's also an act of self-care. We have to find out what we actually want in order for sun's back. We actually have to take a moment to find out what we want in order to properly take care of ourselves. And the worst way to really know is rushing to answer somebody. So why are we rushing? There's no reason. So this is what I want you to do for the next week. Every time somebody texts you, calls you, whatever, emails you, pause. You think about it and you go, you know what? Whenever I am in this situation, when I come back, am I feeling electrified, energized, excited, like I had a really good time or positive experience? Or do I come back nauseous, exhausted, depleted, and just icky? Because when we take the time to ask ourselves those questions, it isn't about people pleasing anymore. The person that we're pleasing is ourself. And what's wrong with that? You're supposed to love your neighbor as yourself, which means you got to love yourself. It's a command. So self-love is not just doing everything everybody else around you wants you to do without any regard for how it's going to affect your state. It's not, and how it's going to affect you mentally and emotionally and physically. And then you pair the let them theory with the idea of not people pleasing your way through life. It's a game changer, because now, however somebody reacts is not really, you're kind of detached from it. It doesn't take away your peace anymore because you're letting people do, act, and react however they need to. And it also is a really great way to teach people how to treat you. You're not going to be known as that girl who just whatever, I just go along with whatever, I just do stuff, I don't even like it, I'm not happy, I'm just going to please you without any regard for myself. When you teach people that that's the kind of person that you are, you get yourself in some pretty not so nice situations. And then people sometimes don't respect you. How do I know? Because I've already done it. Because I've already had to recover from it. I used to get treated not very well. But what was that? Why? Because I was the worst people pleaser ever. I said yes to everything. I said yes to everyone. I had zero boundaries. Boundaries, game changer too. Gotta learn that no sometimes is a complete sentence. And the quickest way for us to feel comfortable doing that is, well, first of all, practice makes perfect. But when we don't answer people so fast, I'm gonna give you a quick story of something that a client shared with me recently. Somebody had called her and said, I would like you to give me a ride to I think it was like a doctor's appointment or something. But my client's day was very full with appointments, and one of her appointments was actually with me. We do one-on-one holistic health coaching sessions together, and she didn't want to be rushed, and she didn't want to be late, and she certainly didn't want to miss it. So she tells the lady on the phone, I'm actually not thinking I'm going to be able to do that for you today because I have another appointment. That probably sounds like a reasonable response, right? No, it wasn't, because this is what happened. It was like a setup. By her giving that lady that information that she had another appointment, what do you think that lady did? She said, well, what time's your appointment? So my client, poor thing, panics and just makes something up, because now she doesn't want this lady to be upset with her or she doesn't want the lady to say, well, that's like 2 hours from now. You'll have time to do my thing in her time. So she just made up an earlier time that she needed to have her appointment with me to get out of it. Whereas if she would have simply said, I'm so sorry, that's not going to work for me today. That's it. It's a clear boundary. She didn't people please her way through that moment. She wasn't worried about what that lady's reaction was going to be. She used the let them theory, and she used self-love in thinking about how much chaos that would bring to her day to try to cram that extra thing in, which would not be good for her nervous system. And then that goes back to what we've been talking about with our feminine energy. Sometimes being in our feminine energy just means having a softer day, not over scheduling ourselves, running ourselves ragged, burning the candle at both ends. That is not how women were made, is to live like that, just constantly busy. So it's okay to say, it's not going to work for me. I'm so sorry. It just is not going to work for me. And that's the end of the story. How she reacts or responds to that is hers, not yours. And I'll tell you, something that has helped me is to sometimes just say it out loud to myself. No, Danielle, that's theirs. That's not mine. That's not yours. Or something that one of my kinesiologists would always say to me is say to yourself, I'm not taking that on. It sends a clear message to your brain, and it creates a new like habit of thought, like almost like creating a new highway through your brain. You've always been going down this road over and over and again. So then you end up defaulting back to that old way of thinking. But when you start saying stuff like, not taking that on, it reminds your brain we don't do that anymore. Because once we know better, we do better. And we got to go back to our why. What's our why? It's affecting our health as women, especially negatively. We are getting sick. People, we are getting sick. And that's not fair. It's not fair for this person over there to stress you out so bad about taking care of their responsibilities that now you're sick too because you didn't take care of yourself. Again, an act of self-love, remembering that, you know what, maybe that's just too much for me today. I'm going to have to let them figure out something else. But when we're always the go-to person that says yes for everything, 9 times out of 10, our nerves are shot. We may be shaky. We might have a lot of headaches. We might have digestive issues, stomach problems, acid reflux, all kinds of, again, communication from your body letting you know you are doing entirely too much. Okay, I'm going to keep this one shorter today because it's been a bit of a longer day and it's kind of late. So I wanted to make sure I got this content out to you. Remember, no more people pleasing. Set up your boundaries. Stop answering people's questions right away. Give yourself a chance to check in with yourself. Ask the question, is this going to energize me? Is this going to electrify me? Or is this going to deplete me and make me nauseous, sick, a nervous wreck, whatever? And then give your body the love to say, I need to take care of myself this time. I need to put myself on my calendar and keep my appointment to myself. And whatever that looks like. And be unapologetic about doing that. And then when people see you treating yourself well, guess what happens? They start to treat you better too. It's just the way it works. You start loving yourself and you will attract more love towards you. It's just the way it works. Try it. Let me know what you think. Let me know how it feels. Give yourself permission, guys. Give yourself permission. And you will feel yourself beginning to heal as your nervous system starts to heal right along with everything else. Take care. Thank you. Subscribe. Tell your friends to come meet us over here for these conversations where we get into all things holistic health so that we can take care of ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Have a great night, and don't forget to woosah. Good night, everybody.